$10 million. This is how much Luisa Zhou made from her info business. What? Don't you know who Luisa Zhou is? I didn't either. Until I started to research those so-called nobodies who are making fuck you money from their not so big social media. For example, Luisa made this result averaging like 900 views a video on YouTube and 2000 views a video on Instagram. Yeah, that is something, but it's not something you would call viral. Today I'm exposing her whole marketing funnel, so you know exactly what she's doing to make such result. Okay, what you're seeing right now is about 3 hours of research. I found this a very interesting case because this shows how little you actually need to generate leads and clients for your offers. All you need is just a very smart strategy, the funnels that catch people in every step of their way, and a powerful personal brand. By powerful, I don't mean going viral and like having some big views. There are other ways that you can actually nurture your audience and make the conversion higher even with the views that you already have. So Luisa Zhou has these 3 offers. So she's selling courses in the form of launches. Also, she has the coaching program and the SEO agency that she is a co-founder in. So Luisa Zhou helps people, mostly beginner coaches or people who want to quit their 9-to-5 to start their coaching business. And let's look at some of the results that she could get. So the first thing she was selling is one-on-one coaching programs. And I find the way that she was starting out very interesting to review. So the first thing she was selling is one-on-one coaching programs. Then she had her first course launch, which was about $30,000, second launch $101,000, third launch almost $1 million, like $800,000, and for the total year she's got $1.1 million. So she built $1 million business almost in 1 year. Of course, there was some period of figuring it out in the beginning. I assume that she had some other kinds of experiences that led to it. For example, experience in digital marketing in her corporate job that actually let her gain the skill that was so valuable that people were buying it as a high-ticket coaching offer. So the core principles of this whole thing was that she was given a lot of free value that were leading to different steps of the funnel, but essentially what I noticed for her is that the webinar funnel worked miracles for her. So people were coming, seeing her live, participating in the challenges that she was setting up and other live personalized help that she was providing, and then they closed for sales and maybe could be upsold. So the traffic flow looked like top of the funnel had her YouTube channel, her blog, her social media, and paid ads. By social media, I mean Facebook page, Instagram page, and maybe some other that I didn't research that much. But these are the main ones. And for the middle of the funnel, she offered, as I said before, some video content, which was mostly live that could warm up the audience for the close. And of course, one of the most important parts of her middle of the funnel stage is the email list. This is where the sale actually happened, and this is happening for a lot of coaches I see. You know, the problem is that a lot of entrepreneurs just think that they could post content and people would come to them out of nowhere, just knocking at the door saying, hey, I want to work with you. And yeah, sometimes that is the case, but more times than not, you should have some email list going on, some nurturing process between the top of the funnel and bottom of the funnel, because people just don't close seeing your content that is quite superficial. I mean, you can go in depth in your content, but most of the time you need some top of the funnel superficial content in a good way that would attract bigger amounts of audiences. And then you nurture people through some personalized help, which could be an email list, could be one-on-one calls, could be other sorts of help. Like for example, with Luisa, she was using free challenges, like literal everyday live session with people answering their questions, giving them advice. And of course, this is warming up the audience because you are giving them so much attention, so much value in the video form, which is even more important. Because if you were just texting them emails and that is it, I assume that you would have lower conversion than if you appear in front of them live or having some video content sent to them. So as a bottom of the funnel, she had courses sold and you could get an upsell to her higher programs. For example, later on in the career, she started offering people with scaling to 7 figures. She was giving that help to others. So what happens is that her product line was extending as she was advancing her career and making bigger results. And we'll talk about how to leverage results later. But for now, let's talk about her acquisition channel. So there are 2 of them that she was using. I think there was also some referral program, but it's not very public. So as a paid thing, she was having Facebook ads going on. So she was investing money into gaining email subscribers, which is quite a smart way to do because again, the sale happens in the email marketing. So essentially, this is how she was getting getting the majority of her clients. But the thing is, the paid advertising works well only if you have some personal brand. Let's compare these two situations. So nobody knows you yet, you're just starting and you're launching an ad, and your Instagram page has 2 subscribers, a few photos of your lifestyle, and that is it. Your YouTube channel has nothing, maybe one video of how you were filming a concert 10 years ago, and that is it. How many people do you think would opt in to your offer? Comparing to a person who has a personal brand, who's posting consistently on Instagram page, has an in-depth tutorial on YouTube, and has at least some following. I mean, it's not that subscribers matter that much, but you need to show people that somebody else is following you, because this is the biggest indicator if people are gonna buy from you, is that other people bought from you. Basic social proof. Now, in the blog, she is offering different solutions to the problems that her target audience might have. So these are very specific questions that people are actually asking. You can check this by vidIQ, by Quora, Google, just see what people are asking, maybe answer the public to understand your audience better. So the most common questions that people ask was how to start an online coaching business, how to create and price profitable coaching business models, how to brand your coaching business, how to create a simple coaching business plan. Like, these are the things that people are asking and want to know before or while they're starting their coaching business. She also had some very simple and genuine content on her Instagram page. Not gonna lie, not everybody can just turn on the camera, yap about anything they want, and have these decent reach as she's having. There's something about her personality that's working, but I'll touch on this later. And her YouTube channel, where she had some in-depth breakdowns and very valuable information shared with people who would want some long-form content from her. Now, what I found very interesting with her video content and why is it working so damn good for her? The first thing I noticed is that she was leveraging credibility, whatever she had at the moment of publishing. For example, at the start, she was able to quit her 9-to-5 and start a coaching business. So she was like, in her content, how to quit your 9-to-5 job and start a coaching business. Boom, credibility leveraged. Then she knew how to get her first client because she got one, and she was telling in her content how to find her first coaching client. Boom, another credibility shown. Then she made 6 figures, launched courses, made 1 million, made 10 million, and you can see this throughout her whole content. Like, when she was accomplishing stuff, she was sharing it right away with audience, and this brought her even more success. I mean, some people could think that this is unethical. I think this is kind of a debate. Like, if you're making money with coaching, can you teach coaches how you make money with coaching if they are the ones who are making you money by buying this? I mean, this is hard to explain, but some people would say that coaching for coaches is becoming a gray area. Anyways, but if it's working, it's working. Like, there's no doubt. Then she made 10 million, 1 million, and bragged about it in her content. And again, was given everything away in terms of how she did it, so people would find value in it and would sign up to her email list. Then what I found so cool is that she was sharing so many stories and her personality in videos. For example, if we look at this video,
what makes a former space station engineer break free from the 9-to-5 to become an entrepreneur? Misfortunes and a serious wake-up call. 2014 almost crushed the Zhou family. My dad collapsed from a heart failure, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and my baby sister was almost blinded. I was the only Zhou still standing. I had worked my butt off, gone into Princeton, and climbed the corporate ladder. Even though it wasn't the most fulfilling, I was settling. But deciding there had to be more to life motivated me to finally overcome my fears.
I think I made my point. So she was telling her literal story, and it's not just one video. In every video, storytelling is one of the main things that helps people get hooked and stay on her content, and most importantly, get related to it. For example, there was this one video where she was sharing 6 hugely profitable coaching niches, and let me tell you, she shared 5 client stories in 7 minutes. Like, how many of client stories are you sharing in 7 minutes of your videos? Yeah, probably this is a good place to put some testimonials here. You know what I see a lot of entrepreneurs do, including me sometimes, is we forget that results are not only for results' sake. Like, the results that you're providing to people worth nothing on their own. They only mean something when they lead to something that a person wants. For example, if that's money, then money itself is worthless. What is really important and priceless is what you can get with money. You can get freedom, you can retire your family, you can have more time, I assume. I mean, now I don't have more time, even though I have more money than I ever did. But I assume for somebody that's the case. So instead of sharing just client results in the driest manner possible, why don't we sometimes put that into the the perspective of the client of how this story was going for them and share this with people. For example,
our case study for this example, my former coaching client Joanna used it to make her health coaching business stand out. After giving birth to twins, she still looked pregnant a year later. So much so that New Yorkers were still giving up their seats to her on the subway. But she didn't have time to work out or count calories, not with working a full-time job and chasing down 2 toddler twins at home. That's when she encountered angle number 1. Her unique solution to the problem. Through research, she stumbled upon this amazing world of spices, herbs, and nutrient-rich foods. They made it easy for her to eat delicious meals and still lose weight while never stepping foot in the gym. And guess what she did? She lost 10 pounds in her very first month. Applying her experience of using those recipes in her coaching helped her then connect with other women facing similar challenges. Like when she helped a client lose 50 pounds within 8 months. She's one of my favorite examples that even if you want to start coaching in a crowded niche, you can still make a difference and make money. So ask yourself, how did you solve the problem your way? Then apply that to your business.
Yeah, so this was a story with all the parts the story needs. So there was a start, there was some conflict, and there was some resolution and happy ending. And the main thing is that the conflict was resolved with Zhou's solution. And everybody understands that this is the result of her work, not just in the form of a dry case study, but in the form of the whole life changed. Now, the third thing very interesting about her content that I don't see many people do, because maybe they're afraid of the experiments, and I am too, I'm not gonna lie, but I think we often overlook some of the deepest feelings that the audience feels that we can address. So Luisa Zhou knows how her clients are feeling, what challenges they're facing, not in the form of I cannot get my first client or get to my first 10K a month. Like, this is something that everybody knows. What's that deep feeling that not many people even dare to pronounce that you can address? For example, for her, it wasn't just how to get a 10K coaching month, but she changed it to you're closer to 10K coaching months than you think. What feeling does it address? It is the feeling that your coaching business is so far away, so it requires like more months and more years of work put in before you hit your first 10K. But she's saying it's closer than you think. So she is challenging my belief about how far that milestone is. Another one that I really liked is that you're not a bad person for charging. I mean, this didn't get many views, but you know how deep of a feeling it's gonna touch. I assume that a lot of people feel like they're a bad person for charging. I feel that sometimes. So she is speaking also partly to a lot of entrepreneurs potentially. Not all, but she's playing with our feelings really good. I remember one time I noticed a video from Daniel Fazio, I believe, and it was saying something like, this is why you actually don't want to sign clients. And I'm like, I don't really. And I clicked on this video and he spoke directly to some of the deepest, fears and feelings and emotions that were like a mess inside of me that I myself couldn't probably put in order. But he was saying, yeah, you don't want to sign clients because you're afraid to not deliver well. And on a sales call, you feel like, oh, I wish they wouldn't buy. And I'm like, I do feel that way sometimes. And the fact that he was speaking, like a magician, like as if he knows what's inside my head, this is scary and at the same time very high converting. So I also know that my clients and like my audience doesn't like filming. So filming is the greatest challenge that not many people even also dare to admit, because filming is such a huge part of running a business, of like attracting leads and stuff. But you know what? A lot of people just hate doing it. They don't know how to push buttons on the camera the right way so that it films normally. And so I made a video about this. Here it is, about how to film consistently and address your limiting beliefs about how to approach filming. So speaking to emotions is a conversion mechanism. Even if that feeling is not something everybody feels from your target audience, but there could be a group that needs to feel seen in that way. I assume that not many people don't want more leads or don't want more clients because of some mentality blocks, right? But I am that person. I still want to grow a business, but I don't want to sign people. Crazy, I know, but I assume that there's a group of people that feels the same way, right? And that's why Daniel Fazio addressed that feeling of ours. Okay, so with that paid and free content, she was signing people to her email list as well as her events like challenges and webinars and stuff like this. So she started with less than 300 subscribers. She was growing it with challenges, paid ads, content marketing, and now she's got an established list with, I assume, tens of thousands of people on it that enables her to do consistent launches without even posting that much content or collecting a lot of views. Now let's look at her CTA. She's also inviting people to her webinars and like master classes on her videos itself.
Hey, I love this. You'll definitely want to check out my free masterclass. It's designed for aspiring coaches who want to go from stuck in a 9-to-5 to building their own profitable, fulfilling, freedom-giving business, all without the normal expensive trial and error. In this free training, I walk you through the exact strategy for starting your business the smart way and start getting paid to do what you love. You can sign up at luisazhou.com/masterclass or through the link in the description. But now let's bring it back.
All right, we've seen her CTA, and this leads us to the launch framework. So in phase 1, around 2 weeks before the launch, she shares strategic content based on the personal stories, value, and client stories as well. So she's building that emotional connection, anticipation, and she's starting to say that she's gonna offer something. So she's offering people in the email list. Then she's got a live challenge that lasts about 10 days. And that's quite a lot. I see the majority of people do the webinar maybe like 1 to 3 days. She did 10. That says something. So she was given the live trainings, the point system for engagement. So if people engage, they get some sort of points and some sort of extra value from her. Then community building in Facebook group and course mentions in all her content starting day 4. Then we have 2 6 weeks. Then along with this all, we have some webinar series, social proof campaigns, personal outreach. And this is something that she was also using in the very beginning of her career that I find super fascinating. Like, she was finding the people who need some sort of help in certain issues that she had been qualified with. And she was herself reaching out to people offering the help. And it meant a lot of free value given, some free calls, free strategies built for people. So this is how she basically built her business from ground up, by offering a ton of free value, especially at the start, as well as in the courses that she launched later. So she was hopping on the sales calls with people who were in doubt to finally make the sale. Also, some email sequences were used. She was basically leveraging her story, again, her credibility in those webinars. For example, some of the topics are how I built a 6-figure business before leaving my job. And yeah, this first shows her accomplishments, and it talks to some of the desires that her target audience has. Like, a lot of people just want to leave their job, but they are not very sure yet to do that before they can build some foundation in their business. And a lot of people want that. She found that niche of the people who particularly want to leave their job at some point, right? To start their coaching business. And that's a large amount of people. And she found this opportunity, saw that probably nobody's doing it as well and as unique as she's doing, and went for it. Again, some topics were how to run a webinar, how to build an email list, how to successfully conduct a sales call. And that was leading to sales. High ticket or lower ticket for the course, it worked. Of course, when the demand for the service or the course or whatever is growing, the price is growing too. And later on, she was raising the prices for her offers. And I would like to finish our video with something that really spoke to me and confirmed that I'm doing the right thing for my business and that I'm providing value with my service.
I stopped posting for 12 months and my income doubled. For me, it was something I knew would pay off because I truly believe it's the best way to share thoughtful, high-value content and connect with people. Plus, the work you create doesn't just fade away after a few weeks or months. That's another reason I decided to focus on the one platform where content I posted years ago still helps people find me. It's not that Instagram is a bad place to focus your attention. Plenty of people crush it there because you can make any platform work for you. The key is that you enjoy it so that you can get the best results from it. That's why, even though I'd already been posting consistently on it for over 3 years, I decided to go all in last year. This looked like learning from coaches, investing in systems, and bringing on someone to help me manage it all. But building the support structures was a huge commitment in and of itself because it takes time to build a team to help you create good content that's true to you. It took me about 3 years to find a great designer, editor, and producer, including figuring out our working styles and creating a product that's high quality and on brand, with a few of our videos crossing 1,000 and even 2,000 views within the first 48 hours, which had never happened before. There's no way we would have been able to do all that if I hadn't made the decision, I'm going all in on YouTube. Instagram can wait.